One of the popular talking points that's developed among the right-wing media, including Fox News recently, is that Joe Biden is making gas prices higher by not restarting construction of the Keystone XL pipeline. And built into this entire story are misunderstandings about what the Keystone XL pipeline is and what it would do, how long it would take to construct it, as well as the degree to which presidents impact gas prices, particularly when the price of oil is soaring globally. And all of these things are being missed with really kind of it's not even really pedantic. They're just confused talking points from right wingers. One example that we're going to look at right now is Peter Doocy from Fox News. For days, Doocy has been hammering Joe Biden's White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, about gas prices and the Keystone XL pipeline. And he seems to understand very little about it, not surprisingly. So let's look at his first attempt from yesterday, or his latest attempt, I guess we would call it, from a press briefing yesterday on this talking point. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the truth about Keystone XL.
Because there's a lot of gray area here. Is a restart of the Keystone XL construction completely off the table as long as Joe Biden is president?
Well, why don't you tell me what that would help address?
I'm asking you if it is an option. You guys say all options are on the table. Is restarting Keystone construction one of them?
If we're trying to bring about more supply, that does not address any problem.
It's supply from Canada, a friendly ally, instead of Saudi Arabia.
We're already getting that oil, Peter. It's the pipeline is just a delivery mechanism. It is not an oil field, so it does not provide more supply into the system. It does not address.
Is it possible that Joe Biden will ever say, you guys can go ahead with construction of Keystone XL?
There's no plans for that, and it would not address any of the problems we're having currently.
Okay, so all of these right-wingers talking about Keystone XL, Keystone XL. First of all, as Jen Psaki points out, it's merely a pipeline. It's not a source of oil. And Canadian oil is already coming into the United States. The pipeline and here's the most important thing. Now, yesterday on my stream, I asked people in the audience, do you guys realize that phases 1, 2, and 3 of the Keystone XL pipeline are already up and running? When they talk about Keystone XL and when they talk about, oh, Biden stopped it and Trump tried to do it and Obama stopped it, do you guys realize that it's just phase 4 of Keystone XL? 95% of my audience didn't know that. And that's by design. When the right says they've stopped Keystone XL, we're getting no oil. Phases 1, 2, and 3 of the Keystone XL pipeline are and have been up and running. It runs, I believe, from Canada, from Alberta to Illinois and Texas and Oklahoma. These pipelines are already in place. What's at issue when people say Biden stopped it is Biden stopped construction of phase 4. And there's controversy around phase 4 because of how it would go through indigenous land, and the indigenous communities that would be affected have not really been players at the table in a way that many of us in the United States think they should be. So Obama delayed it, and then Trump tried to resume that construction, and then Biden stopped it, and ultimately TC Energy, the company in place, has abandoned it. So first and foremost, Keystone XL is up and running. Phase 1 is up and running. Phase 2 is up and running. Phase 3 is up and running. Number 2, it is not a method of supply. It is a method of transport. And number 3, it would take probably years to complete if you started that construction right now. And it would be a very modest amount of oil relative to the total U.S. need. It's a silly, bogus talking point. Even if Biden said, let's do phase 4, it would not solve the problem right now in any way. Doocy continuing to just use these confused different talking points here, trying to do a gotcha around calling the gas price increases the Putin price hikes.
Why did you guys decide to rebrand the rise in gas prices as the hashtag Putin price hike?
I mean, if you want to use that on Fox, I welcome that. But
I think it'll get a lot of airtime because we have heard the president warn for months the gas prices were rising because of the supply chain and because of post-pandemic demand. If you guys knew for months that this was going to be the hashtag Putin price hike, why are we just hearing that now?
Well, so, of course, I mean, Jen Psaki's answer doesn't even matter. Again, gas prices can go up at different times for different reasons. And remember, when gas prices started going up at the end of Trump's presidency, and they continued going up when Joe Biden took over, it was a global phenomenon as a result of the resumption in demand with the easing of the pandemic. We now are seeing gas prices go up more, and it has to do with expectations. Remember, oil prices are sort of a futures market. We are now seeing it happen as a result of what's going on in Russia, Ukraine, and for supply reasons, et cetera. All of these things can be true. It's sort of like if I wake up one day and I have a headache because I didn't sleep well, and then that night I bump my head, and the next day I have an even worse headache. It'd be like, well, why did you say it was because you were tired on day one? Because you actually bumped your head. Right. On day one, the headache was because I was tired. On day two, it was because I bumped my head. Different causes can have a similar effect. One more example of the confusion around this Keystone XL thing. Here is former Obama economic advisor Robert Wolf on Fox News. And he says this Keystone XL thing would not actually fix the problem we're dealing with right now. And the Fox anchor says, well, that's debatable. And he's like, no, it's not.
All right. So if that's not going to happen, Robert, perhaps, as Peter just reported, perhaps opening up the Keystone pipeline is not off the table for this White House. What did you take away from that?
I think XL is off the table. Let's recall a few things. One, it's the worst type of oil you can have. It's tar sands going from Alberta to the Gulf of Mexico. It wasn't going to really change anything to do with our oil supply. It was to export from the Gulf of Mexico. Also recall that under President
debatable.
Trump, well, let me just fit. Okay, it's not actually debatable. It has nothing to do with oil fields. It's a pipeline, and it was going to end at the Gulf of Mexico. That's a fact. You should look it up.
Yeah. This is the problem. You know how I've been saying to you guys, one of the problems we have right now in American sort of in the media milieu and in society in general is people don't agree about what are facts. Now, the wording I'm using is very important. I'm not saying people don't agree about what the facts are. That would be like, I think, I don't know, what are the facts? I think inflation's gone up and you think it's gone down. Okay, whatever. Like that would be a disagreement about the facts. People don't agree about what types of statements are statements of fact. The Keystone XL pipeline is something in particular. It's not open to opinion what the Keystone XL pipeline is or where it would have been or how much oil it would have transported or whether it's a source of oil or just a transport method. Those are not opinions. Those are things we can definitively know. And the problem is when the Fox News anchor says, well, that's debatable. It's really not. I mean, you can make an argument that it's something else. You would be wrong. It's not a statement of opinion. These are statements of fact. And just look at previous reporting about the pipeline from when Obama was president. There are actually reports from back then that say Phase 4 of Keystone XL could actually cause a gas price increase in the Midwest in particular, because the oil would be transported through there, but it's not intended for American consumers. The reporting is out there. So they don't know, as usual, what the hell they're talking about. One of our sponsors is Athletic Greens, which makes comprehensive daily nutrition really simple. People are busy. We're not always getting effective, balanced nutrition from the food we eat. We sometimes are combining all sorts of different vitamins, supplements, different things that may be relevant to us. AG1 by Athletic Greens is a delicious drink that just simplifies the entire thing. It's one product. You get all of the things you need, 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. It's a multivitamin, it's a multi-mineral, it's a probiotic, green food blend in one daily serving. Really easy, high quality, bioavailable ingredients can fill those nutritional gaps in your diet, and they can help with gut health and digestion and support you in other ways. And they can replace multiple products and pills that you might be taking. It's just one drink, really simple. I've been enjoying the AG1 drink by Athletic Greens. Tastes good, helps me get everything I'm trying to get. Athletic Greens is giving my audience a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase when you go to athleticgreens.com/Pacman. The link is in the podcast notes.